Oh, I don't pay for suits. My suits are on the house, or the house burns down.
Welcome back to the Red Right Hand Podcast, the show that covers each and every episode of the Peaky Blinders. I'm Josh,
And I'm Curtis.
and we are back for Season 5, Episode 1.
Yeah.
Almost to Season 6.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. We are so close, man.
We're so close.
Well, and then after watching the trailer last night, it's not that I want to skip Season 5, but I'm just ready for Season 6, man.
I know, yeah. And didn't you say that February? I saw that today, but weren't
That's
we
what
talking
I've
about
heard.
last night? Yeah, BBC.
Yeah, that's what I've
it'll be
heard,
in
which I'm
February.
So guessing March or April for Netflix, probably.
Yeah.
Or
If I remember right, it
for
was a
Netflix.
pretty quick turnaround the last time. It was really fast last time.
You know what will happen? There'll probably be, in the age of streaming disputes, it'll probably be some deal where BBC and Netflix can't come together on agreement, and we'll have to wait till 2024 before we get to see the 6th season of Peaky Blinders.
2024? Oh my God.
I'm sorry, 2025, not 24.
What the? No.
I hope not, but yeah. If we've learned anything the past year or two in streaming agreements, it wouldn't surprise me if something crazy happened.
Yeah.
What the hell are we going to talk about then?
For 3 years?
For 3 years.
Nothing. We're going on hiatus.
Yeah, we're going on hiatus. Wake us up when the new Peaky season comes out. But anyway, season 5.
Yeah. Let's get into this bad boy.
Because there's a lot to get into.
6 episodes. Yeah. A lot going on, but it all kind of centers around the same thing, which is Black Tuesday, which I had completely forgotten about was the main fuel for a lot of what happens in this season,
Oh yeah. It's the foundation.
Yeah, I'd completely forgotten that. So when it popped up at the very beginning, I was like, oh, it all came flooding back.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's 1929. So are we 3 years from 4 years? 3 years, 4 years?
That was 26 that we ended in.
Okay.
26 or 27. So I would say about 2 to 3 years.
Yeah. And they're blasting around a little bit. We're getting a few different characters, where they're all at, and how they're all getting the news in their own way. Arthur and Tommy talk about a letter that they received from some people that call themselves the Angels of Retribution. I don't remember exactly what the letter said. Do you? It says something about
we can't guarantee insurance or something. Now what that means, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what it was about, but
it's very vague though, because again, it's we're just kind of thrown in the middle of what they've already got going on with these people. So it's kind of made you kind of have to scurry around, try to figure out what they're talking about, where, what have we missed? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense just on the surface.
Yeah. It sounded like they owed them some money. Like they said, it says something about a debt being paid in full or something like that.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, man, because that's what I was like. I remember like the first few times that I've watched this season, I still have never like been able to really figure out what the deal was with that letter or who they were or
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
I
We'll have to
don't
keep an
know.
eye out for that stuff kind of going forward.
Yeah.
But um but the main thing to take away from that scene is that, or from the letter really, is that they say that, you know, we're not going to be moved by threats. We've never even heard of you or your people. And so I like that Tommy did a coin flip in the phone booth after he got the news. And let that be the decision on how he was going to handle this.
What do you think the other way would have been? Just let it go, or
I guess a more something
civil
more
approach?
diplomatic. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So then we see Michael in Detroit. He gets the phone call that the market's crashed. Just super quick scene there. Paulie is in Monte Carlo.
Just hanging out.
Yep, just literally.
Just literally hanging out.
And yeah, just everybody's getting the news separately that the market has crashed. And they had a considerable sum of the Shelby company's money tied up in it. So the second phone call Tommy made at the booth was to Finn to tell Isaiah and Aberama to go and handle. Later on, they say that this guy is some kind of like child sex trafficker, basically.
He's a pimp, is what they called him.
Yeah. So Tommy he's going to send Aberama and Isaiah to take care of this guy.
But let me ask
It's
you something
weird.
though. Do you think though? Because I always got confused too. Is like, do you think that this person and what they're about to do? Do you think that has anything to do with the letter?
It feels like it has to. That's what I was going to say. It feels like it has to a little bit.
That's what I always felt like it was. But then, like, I don't know. I don't know. I get really confused. I mean, we'll talk a little bit more about the whole, mission to kill that person, that pimp or whatever, because it comes up later on. But I don't know. I've always just kind of been confused by that too.
Yeah. Well, he gets the. Yeah, that is weird. I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye out for that and see if there's anything else that gives any clues to that.
Well, and I feel like too, like here in season 5, like we really have to pay attention to like a lot of details and try to remember everything for not just season 5, but I think a lot of it is going to carry over into season 6. So we really have to pay attention to, like I said, the little details and the names and different stuff like that.
Yeah. He specifically tells Finn not to get involved in this. Just send Aberama and Isaiah to go handle this. And then, of course, Finn has to. He has to get involved. He basically leads the charge in there. And later on, Ada says something about it, but it starts getting obvious that in John's absence, and since Arthur was almost killed, Finn's definitely stepped it up. He's trying to prove himself. So, but they work their way through this building. We get a really cool kill scene there, where they've got him pinned down in the room. Finn gets shot in the arm, and Abramagold breaks through the wall in the opposite room and shoots the guy several times. It's like super weird to see Peter Baelish play Abramagold also.
Peter Baelish.
Yeah, he plays Peter Baelish in Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like his actor's name. I was like, what? Do you like his style better in season 5 than season 4? I like it better. I like the mustache and the short hair.
Oh yeah, no, his look is definitely
Yeah. His
a
look
lot
is
cooler.
way better.
Yeah. You want to pause real quick before we go any further? So they dig the bullet out of Finn back at Ada's place. I just thought that it was funny how he was so worried about them like getting blood on anything or messing anything up. Yeah, and the first thing Isaiah does after he tells him to be careful is
Oops.
yeah, just breaks that glass or porcelain thing.
Yeah. It's like a little cigarette ashtray type.
Yeah.
It's funny.
So they cut the bullet out of him. The other thing I can't really figure out in this episode is why they were camped out.
I don't know. That's another weird. I don't know.
Because it seems like they haven't been back to the house in a while.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I don't know. There's really no indication that I've noticed why they did that.
But they've been camped out. Tommy's son, Charlie. I feel like that gets confusing with like Uncle Charlie, you know. Little Charlie is mad at Tommy. He's upset with him. Lizzie says that he can understand more Rocca than Tommy thinks he can. And he overheard him, and I assume maybe some of the Lees or some of the Dobbs.
Well, it was Johnny Dogs for sure because he apologizes later on.
Okay. About the horse and what happened and how they wound up putting it down. And he's upset with Tommy. He's young. He doesn't understand. But when Tommy goes to talk to him about it, I thought it was interesting that Charlie mentions that he said you shoot horses and you shoot people. He said everyone says it. Yeah, something like that. So he's definitely already heard at that young age kind of who his dad is.
Right. He's seen a lot and he's heard a lot because he's been through a lot with his dad.
Yeah. Tommy has a little flashback here to killing the horse, and we find out that it's his racehorse Dangerous. And yeah, just another super like Tommy spiraling out of control scene there. Because he kills the horse, and as the horse dies, he immediately puts the gun to his own head and sits there thinking pretty hard about pulling the trigger.
Yeah. I found it interesting how he tells the horse that he was more of a war horse than a racing horse. He's stubborn and just all different stuff like that. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah. I wondered about this, but yeah, Tommy's definitely like back on the opium
Mm-hmm.
or morphine or
Something.
something, but yeah. Yeah, when I saw it was a tiny bottle whenever he was first coming back from the phone call,
Little vial.
yeah, I wondered about that, but um, yeah, it's definitely like the Tommy that you see in previous seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, where
Definitely
he's
dealing with demons.
yeah, yeah, and he always spirals out when he hits the drugs hard.
Yep.
Um, so apparently Arthur comes to see Tommy. I've talked already on the phone, but he comes to tell him about what happened with um, Michael in selling the stock.
And who screwed it up?
Yeah. I did want to say though that we're always talking about the guy that plays Arthur's haircuts, and you were saying I was saying that I like his hair in season 2, and you liked it more in is the beginning of season 4, where it's like
See,
super
now I
long
can't remember.
and weird.
No, well, I just feel like it wasn't. I don't know, because there's just a couple of times like where he has it really long, like on the top part, like really super long, and so like the way that it kind of hangs in the back, I don't know, it doesn't like hang flat. It just kind of hovers over, and so it looks really weird when it's long like that. So I thought it looked
Yeah,
like pretty cool when it was like all long all over. But I mean, I still like the look that he has with the hair on top and then shaved on the sides like me, or whatever.
yeah.
This one's a little bit
Um,
different though. It's definitely like shorter on top, but still shaved on the sides, and you can tell there's like a little bit of gel to like come to like a point at one end.
yeah. Yeah, I really like it in this season. I feel
Yeah,
like
it's
it's one
pretty
of
good.
his better looks. Um, yeah, they talk about how Michael was supposed to sell the stock and he didn't because he was advised by some, was it a broker or
I think it
some?
was a broker.
Okay. Um, to not sell, that it would rebound. Um, but it never did. And yeah, because I'm sure, I don't think we're being led to believe, because it almost makes it seem like Tommy had told him that this like might be coming, to like go ahead and sell. But when I was thinking about it, I was like, maybe it makes more sense that Michael just has orders to, once things like drop down below a certain place, then he's supposed to sell them.
Right,
You know?
yeah. Just kind of keep it even.
Yeah. Um,
But you're right, it does kind of make it seem like, oh, Tommy had a premonition, or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But either way, it's the theme of the episode. Nobody listens to me.
Yeah. Yeah. And between Michael and Charlie, um, yeah, Tommy's feeling like nobody listens to him.
It's this autobiography tile. Thomas Shelby. Nobody listens to me.
Nobody listens to me. So then Tommy goes off by himself. He's gonna take some time to think about all this, tells Arthur to schedule a meeting for the following day. And that's when we get the confirmation of the opium or the morphine or whatever he's on, because he starts seeing Grace and talks to her. Your favorite character. She came back.
Boo. You think that maybe they could kill her off again?
I did think it was, I don't know, didn't you tell me there's a theory that like she's still alive?
That is like the most, I mean, it's crazy, but like it doesn't make sense. I mean, it's obviously not true. There's no way. But it's probably like the most interesting conspiracy theory, I guess you could say, or whatever, that I've read out there on the Reddit about who betrayed Tommy for season 6. And it was pretty crazy, yeah, because they were like, just follow me on this one, okay? All right. It's about, she's still alive, and she's kind of going back to like what she's doing. She's still an undercover detective or whatever this whole time. Even like when she married Tommy, and all that different stuff. She's been undercover this whole time, and she betrayed him, blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, I mean, I want to believe, but that's just like, that's too, like, if they seriously did that, I feel like there would be a lot of people like pissed off.
Yeah, that's stupid. And yeah, there's not even really much to that scene. It's just him and her talking and her calling him out on using again, basically. So it looks like he gets rid of the last of it, like throws the bottle into the fire, and
Right. I mean, you say that it's not a whole lot to it, but I mean, it's a big part of the season, though, is him kind of fighting his inner demons and his visions of her and everything like that.
I just mean like there's not really anything important like said between him and
Grace. I know you're saying. I'm just saying, like, but that this whole thing between him and Grace, fictional Grace or whatever, is like a big theme in this season, though, because it happens a lot.
I don't remember any other scenes with the two of them, so I'm gonna have to take your word for it.
You're gonna find out.
After that, we've got Linda and Arthur. Just kind of more of the same. She's trying to get in his head and scramble him up. She's trying to get him to see, the fall in the stock market as an opportunity for himself to, I don't know, she's wanting him to be the guy, or,
well, I mean, she's always like,
just,
because he's basically now in a seat of power, technically speaking, in Shelby Company Limited, because of Tommy being in politics now. He doesn't want his name connected really to the business. And so, I mean, she even said something about, isn't it, if things went wrong, you're going to be the one that hangs for it. I mean, it's in the contract or whatever. And which he's okay with it, whatever. I don't care. Cause again, it's like, he's telling her over and over, I know who I am now, and I'm okay with it, which is like crazy, because we've spent 4 seasons of him just like losing his mind and not knowing where he fits in, especially after the war and all this different stuff, and trying to cope with the whole thing of losing, his leadership role in season 1, episode 1, to being the dog on a leash for Tommy, that he gets sent out to just go kill somebody here and there or whatever, to now he's just like, I've finally come to peace with who I am and what my role is, and I like what it is, and I'm okay with it. And I think for her, this part right here, this scene, because I remember what happens later on in this season, but this scene really sets the stage for, I mean, obviously for things later on in this season, but you can tell she's starting to really lose her nerve and patience with her husband, because she feels like he's not taking advantage of what she thinks he should take advantage of, is, taking the throne, basically.
Yeah. I like the way Arthur put it, like, when you said he figured out who he was, like, I thought I was the chairman. He's like, but I realized I'm really the doorman.
I'm the doorman. What does that even mean?
That he's not the king. He's the soldier, you know?
Yeah. He's all right being the dog on the leash, man.
Yeah. Well, everybody has a part to play, like not even in this particular story, but like everybody
Well, and like
can
just in general,
serve
like
some
not
function.
everybody's right. Not everybody's fit to be a king or queen or whatever. I mean, you're right. It's like everybody's got their place in life, and you just got to figure out what that is and come to terms with it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And the biggest thing is, like you were saying, that Arthur is like now finally come to terms with that.
Right. And
So he
thank God,
potentially
because
is going to be more useful than ever.
Right. I mean, I'm kind of over like sad, mopey, depressed Arthur. I mean, I feel for him, but like, I don't know. It just kind of gets annoying sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
Because I always go back to that scene between him and Tommy. I don't know if it was in season. I don't think it was in season 1. It may have been season 2, where it's like he was basically just having like a breakdown, and Tommy basically was giving him. He was listening to him, and then he gave him the hard truth. It's like I'm not going to babysit you anymore. That's over with. You know, it's like you need to grow up and close the door on the war and everything in the past, like I did, and just move on.
I was about to say, was it the close the door speech?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. That was.
I think it was season 2.
It was whichever season he buys the pub for Arthur. Or no, is it the grand reopening?
Maybe.
It's got to be season 2 because Finn is older.
Yeah.
And they're both doing coke, so it's got to be season 2.
Yeah, probably season 2. Anyway, we've kind of skipped around and such. Let's get back to this episode.
After that's the company meeting, which are a little bigger than family meetings now. It's people who I think hold the most shares, like within the company, essentially.
Right. Yeah.
Arthur, Linda, Polly, Lizzie, Ada. Ada's there, right?
Yeah, and then this random dude.
Yeah, I don't know who this guy is.
But I feel like, I mean, here's the thing about it. I don't remember if he comes up later on this season, but I feel like he's rewatching it again for the third time. I feel like he's got to be some like behind the scenes important person to watch. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm so like knowing as much as like we know now and everything. I'm so suspicious of like everybody in this season and every detail.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the time to really start watching, you know.
Right.
Because there's some carryover, you know. I imagine. I mean, we know Oswald. That's going to be a carryover, and most of the people that we've dealt with these last few seasons are all dead.
Right.
Like all of their enemies, like they crushed, you know. So, yeah, this will be a season to kind of keep an eye on and see who's slipping through the cracks, you know, and who is going to be a potential problem for them next season.
Right.
Might be able to spot that coming a little better. Yeah, the company meeting, they just go over basically how screwed they are with the fall of the stock market. And that Linda gets mad and storms out because Tommy says he needs Arthur's permission to present his strategy for getting them out of this. And Arthur grants it, and she gets mad and storms out. I will say this is the first time that I've seen Aunt Polly in quite a while that I haven't been like super aggravated at everything she says.
Yeah, she's very mellow in this and back down to earth in this season.
Yeah. It's funny how a ton of money will do that to you.
Yeah. Money and power.
It looked like the actress had a little bit of work done too. She looked younger than I feel like she has, especially last season. But I
Wouldn't
also
surprise
feel
me.
it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell because I feel like the last couple seasons they were trying to make her look pretty rough.
Right. Yeah, that's true. So
She's like not sleeping all the time. She's taking these pills all the time. She's talking to spirits. So yeah, hard to
that's
tell.
probably what it is.
Then they have a post company meeting. This is a lot more. This is the family meeting, more like we've had before. At the garrison. And Tommy lays out what happened with Finn. I mean, Ada brings it up, and then he's kind of forced to.
Right. Before that, though, I mean, we get kind of a glimpse of politician Tommy, because when they come in, like they're met with cheer. He's at least met with cheers, and he kind of makes the rounds just like a regular politician, shaking everybody's hands and hear what the common man has to say. And it sounds like he's done a lot of good for Birmingham, his district. So we get, like I said, we get a little glimpse there of politician Tommy.
Yeah. They talk about what happened with Finn. They talk about the pimp. Yeah, and we'll just have to keep an eye on that and see if the two things are related. It all seems very strange. And I mean,
yeah.
I feel like that part of the story is true because of what we see later with one of those guys. I don't know who these people are. I'm not sure of all the different like levels in the British government, but this guy that Tommy went to get the 50,000 from, like that's the guy. Yeah, that's the guy who paid him to kill this guy. So yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to see about that. There's a lot of vagueness to this episode. Like a lot of unanswered questions.
There was something I had read too about this season where it's like people were questioning how much of this stuff is like something you really need to pay attention to and how much of it is more of distractions or fake leads. Where it's like, oh, well, they're throwing this thing out about Angels Retribution. You're like, oh, what's that? And so like it gets like fixed in your mind, but like you're so fixed on that you miss this other thing that is actually something that you should be paying attention to, where this Angels Retribution thing, for example, may just be some empty, nothing that was really going anywhere. It was just a name that was thrown out there just to throw you for a curveball,
Yeah. They talk about how they've still got plenty of cash, so Tommy's not super worried about this. They're just going to use cash for everything for right now.
Right. I think more than anything, like, everybody was worried, but he's more pissed than worried at Michael for not listening to him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's super pissed at Michael.
Nobody listens to me. The Thomas Shelby autobiography.
After everybody leaves, Aunt Polly and Tommy talk about how they both know that Ada's pregnant again. And then, like you're saying, Tommy and Arthur talk a little bit, and Tommy just says again, nobody listens to me. Like nobody's listening.
Did you notice
the only person really listening to him is Arthur?
Right. Did you notice though in that scene when Polly leaves and it's just him and Arthur talking. He keeps looking out the window at this cart with, I mean, it looks like bottles of milk on the back of it and some kids chasing down the street after it. Like he looks at it like several times and the camera goes to it. But like I could never figure out what the deal was with that scene. And then, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking again, it's like, okay, is this another distraction that like they're just trying to get me to go down this road? Like, what the heck is that? Why are they showing that? Because I mean, if they're going to show it, you're thinking this has got to be important, right?
There's got to be a reason. Yeah.
Yeah, there's got to be a reason, but it's like, I don't know. It's really weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that too. I'm not really sure what that was about. I'm not sure if they're just trying to show you that they're like paranoid or what, but
yeah, I don't know.
After that, we've got Tommy at the House of Commons. What goes on there? What goes on at the House of Commons?
He definitely gives a riveting speech that almost everybody in the House of Commons loves. I could not tell you exactly what it was, but he basically, I remember at one point he brings up the phrase capitalist, and it was not in a good term. Of course, he's running on the Labor Party or communist. Yeah. Well, it was Labor, but he's basically communist because that's what he promised in the last season. But yeah, I don't know. I couldn't tell you all that he was talking about. But like I said, it was obviously very moving because a lot of people liked what he said and they cheered him on. And I don't know, the cinematography and the way they shot that scene was very interesting to me because I always like wondered. I mean, I don't think it was actually that way, but like the way that they shot it, like at first it's like the person that's up front speaking, he's got a spotlight on him and everything else is dark. And then out of nowhere, you just see like this other spotlight come up kind of in the area where Tommy's sitting. And it almost makes it look like, oh, that spotlight's more of just like sunshine coming through like a window or whatever. I don't know. It was just like, it was shot really weird, kind of interesting to me. Yeah. But kind of over in the across the aisle from Tommy in the darkness, in the midst of other, I don't know what you want to call them, leaders, district leaders or whatever. There's Oswald. Yeah, Oswald Mosley. And you can tell he's liking what he hears for sure. To which then we have a very interesting exchange between him and Tommy in the next scene, which is funny to me because I can't remember exactly what he says, but he says something and then Tommy just like looks at him and like walks off. And I always laugh at that part, but I don't remember what he says though.
It's basically like you've come to my attention. Like you've made yourself very known. Like, whatever. Yeah, he just looks at him and then walks away. Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure he already knows. I'm sure he already knows a little bit about him and probably what party he's with and whatnot. Now he probably doesn't want a whole lot to do with him. But anyway.
Well, he does his research, as we're about to find out.
Oh yeah. Oh boy.
After that, he immediately goes to this guy's office. I don't know who this guy is. He's some Lord, higher up at the House of Lords. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was his title, was a Lord, maybe. But I love this. I love this scene with like the exchange when they start talking about military stuff because it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's funny because like he looks at, he does the whole thing of, hey, me and my wife were affected by the stock market, so we can only give you 2,000 pounds right now instead of 20,000 pounds instead of the 50,000 pounds. So it's like, here's the 20,000 pounds, and we'll pay you the rest as as time goes on or whatever. Of course, you can already tell he doesn't like that. We just see the back of Tommy's head, and you can just tell he's not going to take that for an answer. And he walks over and sees that picture of that guy in like his military outfit. And just the part that always gets me and I laugh is when he just turns around and he goes, "Oh, Calvary." It's like, oh crap. Because we've
Yep.
heard so much like about like this their dislike for Calvary in the last few seasons. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, you've already screwed up, man.
And here we go.
But I had forgotten though that he had that exchange though with that one Calvary guy that came to help him or whatever after like 3 days of waiting for them. And he was saying something about he was making a joke about why they were late because he was playing a game of whilst or something like that, some game of chance apparently. And
Mhm.
so he said, so I took my pistol and I shot him and I stole his horse. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, what?
Yeah. Yeah, he said, and then he reported the guy for
Oh, for cowardice.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, which I thought was hilarious. I mean, he's got some balls to tell that to a guy like that, though. Which is like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You know, it's like I have, which he basically tells him, it's like we did the job for the 50,000 pounds, and I made sure we killed the guy. We got all the evidence, photographs, whatever, but we didn't destroy those. I've got those hidden away safe for safekeeping just in case I need to use it. And you're going to give me the whole 50,000 pounds or these are going to get out.
Yeah.
And he basically tells him, it's like, I've seen the photographs and I know you're there. I know you're a part of this.
Yeah. Yeah, and he just tells them that on Monday, like he's gonna get that $50,000.
Right.
Who is this guy that Ada's having the baby with?
That's the dude. He was in a very short scene last year or last year, last season. He was the one that he talked to Ada remember when they arrested Ada for they were saying she was a
Yes.
communist. Yeah, Ben Younger. That's him.
Okay.
He's
He's in the
he's in
military.
connection. Yeah, he's in connection with Tommy about trying to get names from Jesse Eden about communist agitators.
That's right.
Yeah. And then they just kind of
Okay.
had this thing blossoming between them.
Ooh.
Romance?
And so yeah, I mean Ada's just worried. It's the time, it's the possibility that Ben Younger could disappear and she'd be left alone with both children now. I mean, Carl's got to be getting up there. Carl's got to be
Say he's close
7, 8, 9, 10.
7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, something like that.
I mean, yeah,
Because that was
Carl's getting up there
19.
though.
I would say 1919 when he was born, right?
Yeah. So he's 7?
So he'd have to be 7, yeah. 7 or 8 or 9.
Oh no, it's 1929. It's 1929 in this season.
So you could be 10, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, she's just worried. There's a lot of things going through her head, and she's worried about having the baby, but kind of the opposite. Before when she had Carl, Polly tried to get her to not have him. And kind of total opposite this time. She was very encouraging to her. Just told her, she'd be there for her, and that she'll always watch the baby. Just kind of trying to reassure her.
Well, and him and Polly and Tommy had a conversation earlier at the pub at the end of the family meeting about times have changed. He already knew that she was pregnant because he's in contact with her doctor, but he already knew, and he didn't care, not like kind of like the reaction that they had in the first season when they figured out that she was pregnant. It's like, they wanted to kill whoever it was, or at least make sure that he was going to do the right thing. and marry her or whatever. But yeah, it's like they said, times have changed. They don't care, who the father is or if the father wants to be involved or whatever. It's, it is what it is.
Yeah. I think he's just kind of trying to let her live her life.
Right. And
They
she's
spent
old enough
so
to
long
do her
just
thing.
trying to protect her from everything.
Right.
This is my favorite scene in the episode, where Tommy's about to go home for the night and he forgets that he has one final appointment with a journalist. Now, this is not the same actor.
I don't know, because I have to go back and look, because I mean the scene that they're talking about in whatever season 1 or season 2,
Mm-hmm.
I think it was season 1.
It's
like you could barely see the guy, because I mean it was in nighttime. Yeah, they had a big bonfire going, but you couldn't really tell, what he looked like.
I thought it was a different actor, but
Probably so. Just, I mean, at the
I'm
same
not
time, it's
sure.
you're talking about 10-year difference anyway. So
Yeah. But he's the reporter who Tommy called to come down when they were burning pictures of the king in Small Heath in season 1. And the guy recently sent a letter with some questions to him. To, I believe, just do another article on him, right?
yeah, but it's kind of like what he said too. It's like times change. When we first talked, people didn't care about politicians, or celebrities' day-to-day lives. But
Well, he
now,
said that
now
it
they
would have been
do.
considered rude to ask about it.
Right.
It would have, yeah. But now, it's people want to know, and so they're
Right.
reporting on it. And he just asked Tommy a bunch of questions he doesn't like. He puts Tommy on the spot, and he basically asks him if he's got some ulterior motive for what he's doing politically right now.
Yeah, this gotta be two different actors, it looks like.
Okay. And he's just been digging a lot into everything that Tommy's doing. So Tommy reveals to him that he does remember what was on his letter. In the beginning, he was playing dumb, but he does remember, and that he also had his people do some research on this guy.
What? Tommy doing research? Come on.
Yeah. And he's dug up some dirt on the guy. With the music in the scene, I couldn't remember. I thought the two of them were about to go at it. The guy starts looking pretty upset about it. It's getting more intense.
He seems pretty nervous through the whole interview anyway.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he backtracks a few
Just kinda
times
weird.
early on.
Yeah.
And yeah, Tommy just, nothing happens there. Tommy just lets him know that he also knows about him. It's just more dirt, just more dirt in this first episode that he's piling up on people.
He's a great politician.
Yeah. I forgot that, well, okay, so Tommy gets home. He gets back to their house, where I don't remember where that is. It's just outside Birmingham, I think. And he finally gets back there. I forgot that he took Alfie's dog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's finally revealed that he did take him.
Yeah,
it's funny
because I thought it was funny because he said he wasn't going to.
Right, but did you notice though he said something to the dog about you're finally talking to me or whatever?
He said, "At least you're still talking to me."
Or at least you're still talking to me. Is that what he said? Okay, I thought he said about.
Yeah.
I thought you're finally talking to me, but yeah, at least you're. But is he listening though? That's the thing about it.
And then Tommy goes to talk to Charlie. He's out in the stables. And he says that Arthur explained to him that it was God's will that the horse die. But then Charlie's really quick to say, but you're not God. Like, you're not the one to dish that out, And he storms out.
I think we need, like, every time that he tries to have these moments with Charlie, they need, like, I don't know if you remember this, but like on the show Full House, like when we were growing up, anytime like the adults got serious with the kids, like they start having like that serious music in the background, like really cheesy serious. They need to do that every time he starts trying to talk to Charlie. I think it would make it even funnier, especially like with his like Charlie's reactions and rebuttals.
Yeah. No, I like that.
Write a letter.
Thomas said, or Charlie says, "You're not God," and then I liked how after he left, Tommy said, "Not yet." So he's still making that push, He's just still trying to go all the way to the top. I don't really know why this was necessary, but Arthur and another guy go and kill the journalist.
No, I don't think it was Arthur. I think it's just two random dudes. I don't think that was Arthur.
I think one of them was Arthur.
I don't think that was Arthur, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the one on the left was Arthur.
I don't believe that was. I'm looking it up, but I'm pretty sure that was not Arthur. Oh, shoot.
I'm pretty sure. Looks just like him.
A lot of people look like Arthur. No, dude, that's not Arthur. Yeah, that's not Arthur.
Are you sure?
I'm sure, dude. I'm positive that's not Arthur.
Okay, all right, I'll take your word for it.
But I do like the fact though, it's like they're just shooting. Then all of a sudden they just stop, put their guns down, just like turn around like robots and walk off. Like no emotion at all, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why it was necessary to kill that guy.
I think again, it's just like a deal of like, I have the power and I'm going to do what I want.
Okay.
Which yet again, I say he is a great politician. I tell you what, he is acting like a true politician, man. If you can't get what you want, just go kill somebody.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go have somebody killed. That's the proper term.
All right, before this goes any deeper, let's get out of here.
That's all I have. I don't have anything else to say about it,
but that's going to do it for season 5, episode 1. We'll be back next week for episode 2. We've only got 5 more episodes this season. Then we'll be on to... You say
that like we're like close to the end, though. We just started.
Yeah, but it always feels like that because you're doing the first episode and then you've got 1 or 2 more. Oh, we're already halfway through the season because there's only 6 episodes in a season.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but it almost makes me think of like, it almost makes you think like you're like we're doing right, but it almost makes you think like we're like in season 1, episode 1, and you're like, we're at the very end of it, you're like, all right, well, only like 30 some odd more episodes till we get to season 6, people.
Yeah, but there's
like,
not
why would you mention that?
Episodes. There's 5 more. By the time you do episode 2, you've already done a third of the episodes in the season.
I really thought you were gonna say once you do episode 2, then there's only like 4 left. Yeah, and then when you do episode 3, then there's only 3 remaining. 50%,
Yes.
man.
Yeah. Goes by quick.
That's true. Actually, technically speaking, if we're gonna do a tiny sode, then there's 6 episodes left before season 6. Plus any
Yeah.
other like random episodes we gotta throw in there for like filler until season 6 premieres.
Yeah.
So we have
It
like
was-
an infinite amount of
wasn't-
episodes left to go before season
It
6.
wasn't 5 weeks until season 6. It's 5 weeks until season 6 talk.
Okay.
So we start talking about season 6 and the I'm sure we might get one more trailer.
Oh,
I
I'm
don't
sure
know,
we'll
that
at least
might
get
be
some
it,
type of
but-
teasers.
Yeah.
At least teasers.
And there'll be more information coming out. We'll get some names of
lists
some of
and
those people who they hadn't, who we know are in it, but they're not releasing who they're playing yet. So,
Right.
Alrighty. Well, until that next episode comes out, just make sure that you go to YouTube and follow us at Is Survived by Productions, or just search the Red Right Hand Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at Red Right Hand PO1. You can find me on there also at Joshua Lynn Gary. Also on Twitch at GhostLad676.
That's GhostLad 676.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys next week for episode 2. If you haven't already, make sure to go and check the video for our season 6 trailer discussion that just came out also. All right. See you guys next time.
See you. Welcome back to the Aaron Rodgers podcast. We do nothing but criticize Aaron Rodgers for about an hour.
Fuck that guy.
I hate your hair.